Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the Haikyu Fly video. Today, we are going to be doing a character review of the next UR. So, if you guys want to know what the next UR is, or what the next character, the big character coming out is, in literally 9 days, or 8 days even, 8 days, 22 hours, so it's just dropped below the 9-day period, the next character is UR Bokuto. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Haikyu, we already knew that, but we know nothing about him. Great news for you, because I'm about to bring up a sheet that will show you exactly what Bokuto can do. So, if we switch over to the sheet, you will see that Bokuto is, and here are his stats. I just want, actually, before we start this, can we just thank Brisk as well? Let's thank Brisk for making this sheet. This is phenomenal. But yes, okay, so what is Bokuto? Bokuto is a power attack serve unit. He's going to prioritize two sets of stats, as you can see. He's got his power attack and his serve. His base stats look like this, which is really, really solid. And as you scroll down, you'll see, again, it's going to say bang, but it means power attack. He excels in power attack, so we're going to build him with that in mind. Or we can build him with serve potentials in mind, but we'll sort of think about that as we go down. Let's have a quick look at his skills. Enthusiasm Influence. When Bokuto is playing, team morale increases by 20, 25, and 30 based on the level of the skill. When Bokuto is on the court, the team's morale is increased by 4 when a teammate touches the ball. So whenever a teammate touches the ball, you get 4 morale. Bokuto really plays around this morale mechanic. So changes the effect of team morale awakening for allies. Increase their main parameters of the team members on the court by 32% at base level. Last till the ally has touched the ball for the 4th time. So for the first 4 touches, they are going to have very, very highly increased stats. His enthusiasm clearly works. Now, his first actual skill is him performing a jump serve. It is times his serve stat, so you do want to have a bit on his serve stat. It is 6 cooldowns, so that is 6 net passes. I think it's important to note that it's 6 net passes. Cooldowns always are net passes in this game. And then up and down mood. Cool. This is a very cool, unique mechanic. So, based on his mood, Bokuto is going to have 2 states. He's going to either be under his best condition state or his sad mode state, which is insane. But if you watch the anime or the manga, you know exactly what this is. So, while under the effects of best condition, so while his morale is super high, Bokuto's power hits are increased by 12%, 15%, and 18% respectively based on the level. The power is also increased by 18%, 25%, and 27%. Powerful hit, I assume, is going to be the power, like the actual power stat we have. The power, I'm not sure, but it's interesting that there's 2 power stats here. I'm not sure what the second one's going to work on. For all we know, it might be like awareness or something. But we'll find out, or maybe it's the attack stat, the attack percent stat. Who knows? It doesn't translate very well, unfortunately. But it'll be one of those, and that's still very, very strong. Now, in his SADS mode, Bokuto is going to activate power skill. Sorry, cannot activate power skill. When all allies in the team, so when allies activate their team morale, Bokuto gains excellent condition effect. And when allies, and when the allied morale ends, Bokuto gets depressed mode. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. And at the end of each rally, Bokuto loses the sad mode. Now, this is very interesting. You can play around this, which is really cool. So, whilst this can be very negative at times, Bokuto does have measures where you can play around this, but it does mean you have to build a team in a specific way. Now, the ace thanks everyone. Bokuto performs a massive power attack, doing 260% of power, up to 290 at max level. The power hit results in Bokuto's... the nice play results in 12%, 14%. You can see that anyway. And the team morale is increased by 16, which is really good. Yeah, again, you want to build Bokuto with lots of team morale in play. So your cheers, your maybe you want to run Tanaka and Nishinoya for the extra morale boost. There's so many different things that you want to run that will boost morale with this guy. You just want to make sure you have as much morale in the team as possible. Right, we are going to talk about how you would build him, but first let's talk about the skill resonance. Skill resonance main parameter is 13%. This is standard for all URs. So the moment you get 4 skills, you will get the 13% stats. It's really important that you do your training on your URs. That 13% is a lot of stats. It's 100% worth it. Now, the next thing, skill resonance 2. So while Bokuto is under the effect of depressed mode, allies gain the effect of spirit, team spirit, and their main stats are increased by 12%. Bokuto with this is really strong. So while Bokuto is under the effect of depressed mode, allies gain literally more team spirit, more stats for the rest of your team. They're going to perform better. Bokuto with skill resonance 2 is good. Absolutely good. Skill resonance 3, 13%. Cool, fair, normal. And then skill resonance 4, power attacks increased by 16%. And if Bokuto if Bokuto's power hit results in not bad, the cooldown of Ace to thank everyone will be reset. I think it's really worth getting Bokuto to skill 2. For Wales, getting Bokuto to skill 4 is going to make him very, very, very strong. Because the cooldown of Ace to everyone being reset, which, you know, is 8 turns, is very powerful. But it's not going to happen every time. It still requires him to just not have a bad shot. As long as he has something better, that's just going to keep, you know, having a cooldown. So this is really, really good. Very strong. Very, very strong, in fact. And realistically, Bokuto at this is going to be top tier as a wing spiker. The problem is, 1, it's expensive, and 2, it's still unreliable. If you're going to play for Bokuto, Awakening 2 is actually a lot more reliable, and therefore a lot of players will stop here, and that makes perfect sense. And then, of course, Resonance 5 is just more stats, pretty standard. Cool. Now, when you're building Bokuto, one character is almost a must, and that is Akashi, the setter. Bokuto performs ridiculously well with Akashi, and the reason for that is Bokuto loses the effect of depressed mode when Miracle Ace and Catering Setter is active. This means that you will not go into depressed mode, which means half of Bokuto's kit that is quite depressing and can be quite bad is removed. So you need Akashi for this to work. Now, Akashi tosses the ball to Bokuto, performs a powerful hit, and of course the power hit goes crazy. This increases Bokuto's power hit by 20% and team morale by 15%. This is solid. Now, I don't know if this ability only activates when this activates or if it's a permanent passive. If it's a permanent passive, you need him for sure. That bit's unclear. But even then, Akashi is a must if you're playing Bokuto. Unfortunately, whilst he isn't quite plug and play with everyone else, unless you're willing to take sad mode, with Akashi, he literally only has upsides and no downsides. So you've got to think about changing setters, which is the only downside of Bokuto, really. Outside of his clearly active buff, he does have passives. So by owning Kuro, so if you guys picked up Kuro to this in the next 8 days, Tsukishima and of course Akashi, both Akashi and Bokuto will have buffs. Kuro and Tsukishima don't gain any buffs from this, but these two do. Bokuto has an increase to his serves, and Akashi has an increase to his tosses, so his sets. Number 1 disciple. So again, if you are lucky, if you're one of the very few people that was able to get SSR Hinata, by just owning him, you'll be powering up Bokuto with more power attacks, which is really nice. And then if you have Tsukishima, which I mean, I think at this point everyone has Tsukishima because he's given for free. As long as you play for 7 days, you have him. Increase Bokuto's receive by 1%, 2%, etc. And that goes up for the number of stars. So if you get them both to 6 star, he's going to have a massive 15 plus 5%. And then lastly, the training self one is if you own Sarugi Yamamoto, I don't remember who that is, you will get a little bit more serve. You just need to own him. You only just need to own him, so it's a cool buff. If you do manage to play the Fukurodani team, though, if you play the entire team, your team morale will go up by 20, which is really, really powerful and really good because if you can play Fukurodani plus Bokuto, he is just it really gets that morale up massively. And there we go. So Brisk has actually wrote out a usage and evaluation, which is really cool. We'll quickly read through it. I haven't actually read through this bit. I don't typically go this far down. which is really poor of me, I know. But we'll see how much of it we agree with. So Team Morale Awakening abilities, but his weakness in the skills are sealed when Team Morale Awakening ends. So yeah, we want to try and build with Team Morale, of course. So the more Team Morale we can build, the quicker, the better. The seal can be removed with bonds like Akashi. So yeah, having Akashi with him will break the seal, which is really good. And then when recommending team characters, they recommend people like Goshiki, Tanaka, and Nishinoya. So exactly who I said. I didn't include Goshiki, but they boost team morale, so it's good to have them there. And by unlocking skill resonance 2, your abilities will increase while their skills are sealed, making up for their weaknesses. Resonance 4 immediately resets the cooldown power skill, which is really, really powerful. He's a wing spiker member who becomes more useful the more he plays. Yeah, absolutely fair. This is an absolutely fair summary of it. Do I think Bokuto is good? Guys, personally, for my team, if I pick him up, I'd be picking him up strictly because I'm content creating. I would be picking him up strictly as a content creator, not as a person that's going to use him. Maybe I can replace Iwaizumi for him for now. But the reality is he doesn't fit my team. I'm not planning to build Akashi. Not yet, at least. So Bokuto for me would be a waste. That's just an honest answer. So my next unit to get would be Oikawa, the UR Oikawa that's coming out, and I will do a player dive or deep dive on Oikawa next, so you guys can have both. Maybe we'll release one the same day even. So I'm going to go UR Oikawa next, which is the character after Bokuto, because that would then complement my team. I'd have a power setter with my powers OP. I would also have 2 power wing spikers. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I am pretty happy with that. That's where I want to be. And then I'd slowly build around the Shiratorizawa team, which is where I want to go personally. But that's my personal take on teams. We'll do an Oikawa cover again. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did press the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section if you liked the video. Remember, guys, if we hit 11K, we will be doing another $25 giveaway. So I'll see you all in the next video, and I love you all. Bye.